Next up on our virtual moving up ceremony, Mr. Joe. Hey wait, Mr. Joe, where's your hat?
Cereal Box Grad Cap. Materials needed. This is what we need to do our project. An empty box of cereal. Some string. Tape, a stapler, and maybe some glue. Scissors. Remember to always keep the sharp end down and to walk, not run. Permanent marker for permanent marks. And finally, a ruler. Our first step is to cut off the front of the cereal box with our scissors, leaving the rest of it intact. After you cut the front off, you should have two parts, the back with the side walls and the front of the cereal box, but we're going to put that down for now. Now our next step is to cut off the back panel, but we're going to use our permanent marker and our scissors to make sure we leave an inch behind so there's something on top of the walls. It doesn't have to be an inch exactly, it's just got to be enough for us to use later. Put the back panel in a safe place. We may need extra material in case we make a mistake. I have a little loose part here, so I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to fix the side. Now that we've fixed our sides, we're going to make a line and cut on a 45-degree angle on our corners so that this can open up and we have one long side piece with a little lip on top. Decide if you want the cereal box design facing out or facing in so you see the cardboard, and then wrap it around your head to find the size of your hat. Now carefully take the hat off your head without letting go so you don't lose your spot, and take your permanent marker and mark the area where you're going to need to staple so that your hat stays the right size. Once you've made your marks, staple it so the sharp ends are facing outside of the hat so you don't get poked when you put it on. Give your hat a test, see if it wiggles when you move around, make sure the fit is comfortable. When you're happy with the way it fits, take off your hat and cut off the extra. Do not cut off the extra with your hat on. Let's check our hats one last time to make sure they're good, and it looks pretty great to me. Take off your hat now, and we're going to look at that top lip. We're going to cut triangles into it so that we're going to be able to bend the lip over and attach it to the square part of our hat. Let's take our markers and mark those triangles now. You're going to make your triangle upside down so that the point is pointing towards the ground, and you're going to make them all over the rim of the entire hat. It should look like this. When you're done, get your scissors and cut them out. Let's go back to the front cover of our cereal box and line it up with our hat. Now, mine doesn't really line up because I've got a big head. But if you don't have a big head like me, the front cover should be perfect to make a square for the top of your graduation cap. Fear not, my big brain brethren, we have that back panel we saved earlier to add material to the front. With a little bit of tape, we'll have a big enough piece for our hats. Next, we're going to take our hat piece and we're going to fold over all of those flanges we made after cutting out those triangles. You want them to be flat, so when they lay down on top of the square piece, we'll be able to tape them down. Put the hat flange side down in the middle of your cardboard. Try to draw a circle around it so we know the general area of where our hat's going to go. This circle isn't perfect, but that's okay, it's trying its best. Now make a mark in the middle of the hat for reference. Like the circle, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now you want the square part of your hat a couple inches bigger than your circle. Since I have a silly piece of cardboard, I'm just going to measure out the smallest part and go by that. I've got 11 inches. Now we have to find half of 11 inches, and a trick I like to use is counting up to the even number before it, like 10, and finding out what doubles add up to it. I do the same thing for the number after it, which is 12. And now we know 5 plus 5 equals 10, and 6 plus 6 equals 12, and we know the answer to what is half of 11 is exactly in the middle of 5 and 6, which is 5.5. Now you guys probably won't have the same numbers as me, so good luck finding your halves too. Now my total number was 11, and my halfway number was 5.5. So let's put 5.5 on the middle, and mark the beginning of the ruler and the 11. Next we can use our ruler like a straight edge, and make the line bigger across the whole square of the cardboard. If you did it up and down, turn the ruler sideways and do it the same thing you just did to make a good square. If you have a silly piece like mine, use the ruler to make a straight edge on the extra pieces you need to cut off. After we're finished cutting our pieces, we should have a nice square left to put our caps on. Try to get it centered right in the middle and begin taping it to the square. If your circle was a little crooked, now's your chance to straighten it out and help it stay that way with some tape. Our hats are coming together nicely, but they're missing one thing. That's the tassel. The tassel is that little dangly thing that hangs off the side. To make this part, we're going to take our string and measure out 6 inches of it. That's all the way to the number 6 on the numbers that are further apart on your ruler. We're going to need 10 of these. Once you've got all 10 strings, you're going to need one very long piece and one kind of short piece. These don't have to be exact, make them a little longer because we can cut them back if we need. Line up all those 10 pieces we cut and pick them up by the middle. This will allow us to grab around the sides and make a nice loop from the top. Holding those 10 pieces together, take that very long piece and thread it through the circle of the loop. Once you get it threaded through, tie a knot so it doesn't go anywhere, and tie another one so it's nice and secure. Now we're going to take our shorter string and wrap it around the loop a little lower than the knot we just tied. Once you find the perfect spot, wrap the string around as many times as you can, keeping in mind you need to tie a knot at the end to keep it from coming loose. Knot it tight and knot it twice, and then make sure to cut off the extra pieces of string with your pair of scissors. After that, cut the bottoms of the strings to make sure that they're all even and it looks pretty. Once we've trimmed and cleaned up our tassel, all that's left to do is to put it on top of our hat. Find the perfect spot for your tassel, making sure it's not too high or not too low. Once you find that spot, put some tape on it so it doesn't move. Once everything's looking good, take the extra part of your tassel and you can cut that off with your scissors. And there you have it, folks, one beautiful cereal box graduation cap.
Hello everybody, I'm moving up in the world. Look at me and my cool hat. It's so much fun.
I can't wait to see the hats you all make, and I can't wait to see what kind of cereals you guys decide to put on top of your head. You all did amazing this year, and I wanted to say congratulations on moving up. Great job, everybody. Well, it's time for me to go. I'll see you all later. Mr. Joe, moving up.